Hello everyone, Ashenmore here, and welcome to my Week 8 team building video versus the Antarctic Avaluggs and their coach Edge, otherwise known as the dankest team in the league, and you'll see why when we kind of go over his team. First though, I want to kind of take a look back at Week 6. Week 7 was a bye, so I didn't play last week. I kind of had some time to think about what happened. And with this team that I have right now, I'm kind of realizing that any strong electric type that also has a grass coverage move, even if it's just hidden power grass, which is pretty much every electric type there is, except for physical oriented ones, poses a pretty strong threat to my team. And I've really considered getting rid of Kartana because a grass type would be perfect to absorb those kind of blows, and Ferrothorn is available, which I could get. I could also throw him out and Minshao out and get Virizion and, say, Nihilego, and I would preserve my offense while still having a defensive grass pivot, which would really benefit me in a lot of these games. I'm not going to make that change yet. Kartana has a lot of usefulness in the matches ahead. I may consider something else, perhaps getting rid of Miltank for Gogoat. I think I've said that before, but it's a thought. So, last week I really made a couple of mistakes. First, I didn't calculate a couple of the Mon's defenses correctly, and that led me to thinking I would get Okos where I wouldn't. For instance, the Specs Rabombi versus Mega Ampharos I thought was a for sure kill, but I hadn't actually calculated the specially defensive variant, which is what was brought. Another problem in that battle is just me not listening to myself. It was obvious I would switch into Swampert. It was obvious he's going to do Hidden Power Grass. I even said that in the video, and I did it anyway. And that kind of lost me the battle in the first turn of the game, more or less. And it feels bad. But Mega Swampert was such a pivotal thing, and it was the only thing that really checked Mega Ampharos. Losing it that early kind of just made everything go downhill from there. And I did kind of get quite tilted at that point. I probably could have tried harder, but the prep wasn't really great for that game. And one of the reasons for that is he had his Z Crystal on Gyarados, which is the incorrect Mon. It should not have been on Gyarados, it should have been on Latios. And I even went back and I looked at the past replays from that team, and every time Gyarados had leftovers. So he had never run Z Crystal on Gyarados before, and given that his team chart says that it's supposed to be on Latios, yeah, there was really no way to prep for that. Now, by the time he used the Z move, the battle was over, but knowing it had been on Gyarados, I probably would have prepped a bit differently, and it probably would have made at least a little bit of a difference. But enough of that. So, really what we need to do is just focus on winning these last games, or doing as well as we can. I'm pretty sure I'll be in the playoffs anyway at this point, considering that with the bye, my record is now 6-1. But I would like to win as many games as I can, and it's just fun to play. So, with all that said, we kind of get into the team that I'm going to be running here against Edge. Now, he's got Mega Lopunny. That's a big offensive threat. He's got Hawlucha, so Unburdened Shenanigans could happen. Shell Smash Cloyster is a thing. He's got Galvantula. That's the biggest problem here. A strong electric type with Energy Ball, Bug Buzz, and unfortunately Sticky Web. He really likes to lead Galvantula, Sticky Web, and there's no reason that he shouldn't, because it's incredibly effective and he's won games off the back of that, sweeping with Porygon Z after the speed boost. And it's a perfect pairing, really. The other thing he likes to do is Z Acupressure with Drapion, which is his Zmon, his only Zmon. And that could end up being quite problematic if I let him get set up with Acupressure. I'm going to be running a couple things to kind of counteract that, but it's mostly going to be on Swampert to stop it. And to a lesser extent, Kartana. Sizor, I'm not too worried about. Its special defense isn't quite high enough to survive Thunderous T. So there's that. Avalugg will wall physical threats, but against my special ones, it will not fare so well, nor will it against Kartana or Minxiao because they will hit it super effectively with Stab. He also has Landorus, and Rock Polish Landorus could prove to be a problem. Also, Coal Mine Gardevoir could prove to be a problem. He has a really good overall team, decently well-rounded and effective, and he likes to pull unpredictable shenanigans as well as the predictable ones with the Drapion and the Galvantula. So we'll kind of just have to see what he's going to do. But anyway, the first Pokemon I'm going to be taking, I'll start with, is Minxiao. And the reason we're taking Minxiao, and the reason we're taking its Scarf, is for Galvantula. Obviously, Galvantula is base 108, Minxiao is base 105. It will die to Thunder, almost guaranteed, if not guaranteed. And that can't happen. So basically, we're going to lead Minxiao U-turn out, pretty much regardless of what he brings, because the Galvantula will be Focus Sash, and there's really nothing else we can do to stop that. Since it's Scarf, I have to have other damage moves. High Jump Kick, that will take care of the Lopunny, which we will outspeed because Scarf, and it can't be Scarfed. It will also kill Cloyster, it will kill Avalugg, and it will... yeah, Porygon Z, and it will take almost half out of every other thing. Even Gardevoir, which quad resists it, will get hit for about 1/3 of its HP. It's very, very difficult for him to switch in against this Minxiao. Knockoff is just kind of there for an option, especially if I see he's got other Scarf users, or if there's a problematic item. I don't potentially see me using Knockoff, but I'm just kind of bringing it, because there's not a lot of other moves to bring on Minxiao. I did consider Drain Punch as just a kind of safe alternative option, and I may still change that. Rock Slide is mostly there for, I guess, Hawlucha, or if I have to switch back in on Galvantula, I can also kill Galvantula with the Rock Slide. That's pretty much the only reason that's there. The spread on this guy is just going to be your standard attack speed. Jolly, to be as fast as possible. The only Scarf user he could use that would outrun this is if he ran Scarf Galvantula, which I do not see happening. Or potentially Scarf Hawlucha, but that would be fine too, because then he couldn't do any shenanigans. Or Scarf Lando, and that wouldn't matter either, because it also can't kill me. Alright, the next one I'm going to cover is my other Scarfer, Kartana. Yes, I'm going to be running 2 Scarfers. The reason why? Mega Lopunny. It's too fast. It's just simply too fast, and Hawlucha is also simply too fast. I don't have anything that is as fast as those mons, and if it wasn't for the fact that Mega Lopunny had Scrappy, Chandelure could handle that, and it'd be fine, but it has Scrappy, so we have to have something else to deal with it. The Kartana actually cuts through his team pretty well. Once Drapion is down and regular Sizor is down, there's really nothing to stop Leaf Blade from sweeping his entire team. Sacred Sword also does a pretty big number on his team. Smart Strike, Aerial Ace, all hit key mons. So this is kind of going to be my cleanup sweeper / revenge killer, and he could potentially just go crazy and win me the whole game. After that, Thundurus, and I wasn't originally going to bring Thundurus, but Electrium Z Thundurus can pretty much OHKO anything he wants on that team. Literally anything will get OHKO'd by this guy. So there's no reason not to run it. The only things that outspeed me are Hawlucha, Galvantula, which isn't going to be able to do much because I will absorb his electric attacks and I'll be resistant to his bug and grass attacks. And, of course, the Mega Lopunny. Now, none of those can OHKO me with anything, surprisingly enough. I figured that Mega Lopunny would be able to, but it can't. Not even with Return, unless it's somehow boosted itself, and we'll be able to kill everything back. Even Landorus can't actually kill us with anything. and we can kill it back with HP Ice. Yeah, he'll only be able to do that once, but should be pretty good to go there. Also, we can kill the Drapion with Electrium Z Thunderbolt. So there's that too. Other move, Volt Switch, and then Sludge Wave for the Gardevoir as just a random coverage move that will definitely kill it. Really, this guy's main job is to switch into Galvantula. So, Minshao, U-turn, they'll break the sash on Galvantula, switch into Thundurus in case he tries to go for the Thunder, we'll absorb it, and we'll either force him out and something will take huge damage from Thunderbolt, or we'll just get the kill on him. Yeah. I'm only running part of the Rain Core this week. I'm running Pelipper, Skull Defog, Hurricane Roost, Maximum Physically Defensive, and Rocky Helmet. So this is going to be able to completely wall Hawlucha and Mega Lopunny, minus if they have Thunder Punch coverage. And even if they do have Thunder Punch coverage, against Hawlucha, I can survive a Thunder Punch after switching in on an attack. And against Mega Lopunny, it's a roll. But either way, this will set up my Rain for Mega Swampert, potentially, and it will do some pretty heavy chip damage against a lot of Mons. This can also beat Scizor. Not so much Cloyster or pretty much anything else. I guess Landorus, if it's a physically offensive variant. Or even if it isn't, it's not going to be able to do a whole hell of a lot to Pelipper. So, it's a good tank mod in this game. Unfortunately, because I'm bringing that, I can't bring Tentacruel, even though I would really, really like to bring Tentacruel. I just can't afford to have two defensive mons that are weak to electric attacks, just in case he is running Thunder Punch on both of those, which I would, so I'm kind of expecting that to be the case. Really, what Pelipper is here for more than anything else, though, is to get a defog off on the Sticky Web. I really can't have the Sticky Web being there. It can't happen. I am mildly considering switching to the Electric Resist Berry. I don't know which one it is by name, but I'm considering it. Simply so it can do the defog job a little bit better. But there should be opportunities to switch it in. And even if there aren't necessarily that many opportunities to switch it in, we still have Thundurus that won't get affected. Yeah. And of course, we have Mega Swampert, which I think I've played every single time so far, but hey, it's effective, so and I keep using it. This time, we're going to go for a slightly different set. Earthquake and Waterfall are coverage moves, and then Stealth Rock, if I have the opportunity to set it up, is pretty good against his team. And then I'm going to play Roar. The Roar is for Cloyster or Drapion if I switch in on them and he tries to greed. Especially Drapion. If he Z acupressures and gets a defense boost, he may just keep on greeting, and I'll only be able to 2HK him at that point. So a Roar would just kind of fix that. It can also get rid of contrary boosts, or Calm Minds, or Rock Polish. If for some reason I can't OHKO those Mons, which most of them I do OHKO. I guess also Size or Sword Stance. I feel I needed a form of phasing, and since I can't run Tentacruel, and I'm not running Kingdrift or Clear Smog, and Chandelure is a little bit slower than most of those threats, I really can't afford to put that phasing on them. And I don't need the extra move slot here. So I'm just running the phasing on Mega Swampert. I'm not running any speed investment. I don't really need it. The only thing I can't outspeed with Mega Swampert the way it is right now is Mega Lopunny. And I don't really need to outspeed Mega Lopunny. I can absorb the hits pretty well thanks to Mega Swampert's big bulk. And OHKO it with either move. And then the last mon I'm going to bring is Chandelure. And I really thought about this for a while, and I determined that it was probably the best thing to do. Now, Chandelure doesn't necessarily fare amazingly well in this matchup, thanks to Landorus, and I thought Cloyster and Drapion, because if he runs Acupressure Drapion, he's only going to be running Knockoff as a move. But this thing does wall Hawlucha pretty hard. It threatens Scizor. It stops stab attacks from the Porygon Z if he brings that. And I've ever valued it so it is always going to be faster than Cloyster by at least 1 speed point. And it will always OHKO Cloyster with Energy Ball because Cloyster's special defense is absolute garbage. It also answers Avalugg, that being a physical wall. And since I'm running Assault Vest, I can switch in on Galvantula and take at least 2 Thunders before going down. So if worst comes to worst, this can be my Galvantula check. Energy Ball is there for Cloyster, as I've said. Flamethrower is there for the Avalugg and the Scizor, and really anything else. HP Ice is there for the Landorus, which I can, with the Assault Vest, live any special hit. That's assuming he doesn't run it physical. I haven't really seen him run it much at all, so we'll see how that goes. I probably am not going to chance it if it does come down to that. It's kind of like a last-ditch effort, or if I think he's going to switch into it. And then for the last move, Shadow Ball, and that's more or less there to kill the Gardevoir and deal some decent damage to other things. I really was considering running, Clear Smog or Haze, but like I said, I'll get outsped by the Drapion anyway, so there's not really much of a point in doing that. Also, with the ability Flame Body, there is the potential to switch in on Hawlucha, or Scizor, or Drapion, or Mega Lopunny, and give them a burn, which could just win the game right there for me. So there's really no reason not to run Chandelure as the last slot. I'm hoping that this team works out a little bit better than last time. I feel like I did as thorough of a prep as I could. I think I've got a good chance. Edge does have a good team, so it should be a good battle. See what happens. And I'll see you all in the battle video. Thanks for watching. As always, Ashenmore out.